Yerp, we're on time, y'all. Egg rolls, Heather.
That's 2 times in a row. 2 times in a row.
Oh, sorry.
Happy birthday, J. Marie.
Oh,
Happy
definitely.
birthday.
Hey.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, sweetie.
Hey, Kim.
Oh, God.
What the fuck is
Why the
Kim doing
fuck
in
is
my
Kim in my
chat?
chat?
I don't.
Why the fuck is Kim in my chat?
Hey, Poppy. Good to see you.
Well, there went the thing about trying not to say the F word right away.
Nah, I didn't say that.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, heck.
Oh, heck.
That's going to take a little getting used to.
Yeah. We're gonna try
Especially for me.
Just say,
Hey, Dino.
Dino.
to the
Haven.
We're practicing. We'll get there.
I obviously need to practice harder.
Me too.
I'm going to save it for the end, is what I'm going to try to do. Yeah, thick.
The F
EK.
word?
Yeah,
Oh,
to
okay.
the end. Yeah, not the whole thing. Thick. Hear it? EK.
That's how we does it. Hey, Sarah Me. Good to see you.
Hey, TT. Everybody in the
Hey.
chat.
Hey, Stella. Where's Griffey? Did I miss Griffey?
Mulan.
Hey, Griffey, if I missed you. Shorty.
I'm so glad you found us, Mulan.
Thank you for everybody that has subbed up. Wow, we really appreciate it. We weren't expecting it to happen that fast. Thank you all.
Chris, it's not happening. Deal with
Hey,
it.
checking.
She
Good
will
for
never
you,
Chris.
Bugsy.
her.
Good for you, Bugsy. Don't say it.
She won't. She will not tell us her middle name. Well, we know it, but she won't say it.
No, she won't say the F word.
No, not at all. Hey,
Fun?
And
Fun?
that's why I love her.
Frank?
Frank.
Hey, Tabby.
Fancy?
Ew. Sorry.
Oh, they checking convictions.
We love checking convictions around here.
I do.
Hi, checking
I do.
convictions.
I do like checking a lot.
I love MOKKA. 6 Up.
Mhm.
Georgia.
Hey, Flip
JD.
Flop.
Stars.
I was wondering how much you regretted that right now.
I know, right? I knew
Hi,
it was
Flip
you.
Flop.
I knew it was you.
Yeah, I knew that was her. You have to do the 14 days of torment.
Hey, Johnny P.
Hey, Tabby.
Well, I'll tell y'all why we're gathered here tonight. Has we figured one live about this situation wouldn't be enough, of course, because it's getting around on the YouTube streets, which that's what happens. And I was listening to shout out to Deets on the streets. I was listening to her live this morning that she had done yesterday. And I liked the way she handled it. She did a really good job of breaking it down on how these things can happen and don't be too judgmental and all that stuff. And we're going to share some of her commentary and we're going to respond to some of it with commentary. So fair use, educational. I don't think she would mind. She don't seem petty. And it seems like Deets on the streets understands fair use. I don't think she would mind. We're not going to use the whole video. So if y'all don't mind to put fair use in the chat a few times, but we ain't got our banner up yet. But I don't think Deets would have a problem with it. She seems like a really reasonable person. So here we are. We're back again to answer a few more questions that are reasonable. The timeline of things. As y'all know, we just found out. I'm going to say it's not even been a week. It was Tuesday. What, TJ?
Yeah. Monday or Tuesday.
I think it was Tuesday.
Yeah, I believe it was.
So we had 2 or 3 days.
It was Monday, and Tuesday was when the final rift happened. I know because I was with you Monday night, but Tuesday
that's right.
I was away.
I was seizured and it all ran together.
That's true. Okay. Well, what do we know? We have to wait for Pearl to make sure we know what we're talking about.
Right. That's so true. Pearl helps us out a lot. But yeah, so it's not even been a week. It will be tomorrow. So I'm hearing a lot of this question or statement. How did they not know? Well, we didn't know until a little bit. It happened June 12th. Today is the 25th. So that's been almost
it was like was June 12th like on a Friday?
It was a Monday. It was a Monday.
Okay, so it took us till the following Monday?
Yep.
Before we had really everybody's kind of gut feeling started, their guts turning a little bit, pondering and wondering and starting to look around and
not knowing who we could trust to talk to even bring it up.
And they also need to remember something. It wasn't something that we just jumped on like,
right.
Oh, we just can't wait to get this out here.
Thank you, TJ. That's a really good point. And thank you, Poppy the Good Troll. Oh my God, how could you have known, right? But TJ makes a really good point. We ain't like some of these weirdos out here. We find something out about somebody that we looked at as a friend and then run to the internet. That's just weird to me. So we were not in a rush to do that. We needed to talk to her. We needed to talk to each other and some other people that called on to, and formulate a plan on how we move forward. So,
and we kept it private.
Yeah, we did.
I saw someone ask why we didn't immediately run her license badge the license on her badge the first time we saw it, because I don't do that to my friends. I wouldn't do that to anyone. Like, I don't do that to my friends.
That
weird
strikes
to me.
me as a really weird thing to do. I don't know whether I could live my life with that much suspicion about every single person that I came across.
Right.
No.
But we didn't have the whole complete badge.
No, but when we looked at it, like really started looking at it.
I mean, way back,
Oh, yeah. But when we got it, like I randomly just got it from her. But when we started looking at it, like, okay, yeah, this don't look right. That don't look right. When you send me something, I do not have my magnifying glass out like, ooh, where is this wrong? Now I might because I'm a little shook. Okay. I'm a little triggered.
People need to.
We're talking earlier and we're both a little rattled here.
People need to remember how this all began. We began as friends that we met in Ziggy's chat, and then eventually in her Discord, where we began talking and forming a friendship. And then Circle Jerk came later. All throughout this friendship that we formed, we had lots of conversations, and we got to know one another. We did become friends. When we formed Circle Jerk, we talked all the time in our own private Discord, just the 8 of us.
Hey, I want to address something when you get done, Eliza.
Okay. And just the 8 of us. We talked all the time. I talked to these ladies all the time, way far more than what you see on this panel. And I think it makes us very different from any other panel that I've seen where, they have people up and they're not like, they talk to them while they're on panel, but they're not talking as much behind the scenes. We talked all the time. Mm-hmm. Lolita told us a lot of things about, just everyday stuff, just like anyone would talk about, about daily life and stuff. And it always stayed somewhat consistent. I mean, if I sit and dissect now, as we have had to do, you can find some little things that might have been different, but nothing that would have raised alarm bells. So there was no reason during this friendship that I would have ran or said, hey, let me have your nursing license and let me run it, or let me see your badge, or show me proof of your real name. None of that. It just, that to me is like been the hardest thing that people are asking. And like, why don't you understand? Do you do that to all your friends? Do you really treat your friends like that, in real life? Because that's what's shocking to me, is that people distrust so easily, I guess. And I don't.
Okay.
I trust you until you give me a reason not to. And
Right.
that's what happened earlier this week.
I think people need to realize that the relationship came first before the question of trust arose. And I know plenty of people have unfortunately been in relationships where they've been cheated on. Trust is a heck of a blindfold. How many times, if you are one of the people who's had a partner who's cheated, is it only in retrospect that you look at things and go, yeah, that didn't add up. Why didn't I see that before? Well, it's the same thing. The relationship came first and then the questions.
Okay, can I address something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I want to address Sheba's mom.
Oh, yeah.
She's in the chat, and I just now saw it, and she said she was waiting for my apology for accusing her to be the actress. And I'm assuming that she means the idiot over there in Ziggy's chat that she had on acting a fool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me tell you something, Sheba's mom. Number one, I don't remember calling you an actress, but I guess
yeah.
TJ?
TJ?
We lost sound, honey.
Oh, I thought it was me. TJ?
Can you hear me?
Now we can. Now we can.
Can you hear me? Okay. All right. No, okay.
The last thing we heard was you saying, I don't remember if I called you an actress, and then you cut out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I don't remember if I did call you an actress, but let's just say I did. Okay. So going with that, number one, no, I won't apologize to you for shit, lady. And number two, how many times did we come into Ziggy's chat and we were talked about like we were dogs, or we saw you talking about us like we were dogs everywhere else? And lady, you're not clean. You talked about everybody and their brother in this group. And so you can go back to Ziggy and you can smell her feet and just take it on over there, because I just really don't give a damn.
Yeah,
So
because
I think that actually where the mix-up might have come about was we have definitely suggested that you're a bad actor, as in the colloquial term for somebody who's behaving out of a bad motivation. Not actually that you're an actress or an actor in any professional sense or unprofessional sense, but somebody who is motivated by their own purpose, not somebody who's behaving in a fair or equal way. That is probably where the mistake has arisen. I stand by that.
Oh, well, or Pearl, it could just been that I called her a bad actress, and that, I don't care. I really don't care. If she don't like it, maybe some of the girls can show her to the door, because I really don't care whether she's here or not.
Yeah,
I am right
really
with
don't
you,
give a damn
whatever
whether
the
she's in my
sentiment.
chat or not.
And for the record, Sheba, at least when we see some bullshit, we walk away from it.
yeah,
Block her.
Still hanging out.
There's that. There's that.
Show her to the door, stars.
Yeah, I don't want people to get confused and think because this happened, this fallout, that there is some type of running back to Ziggy and hanging out over there. Please do not get confused like that. And don't embarrass yourself like that, because it ain't happening. We ain't cool. And if you support Ziggy, we ain't cool. That's just how it has to be, especially with what's been happening lately, even though it's not what this show's about tonight. But we'll be getting into that at some point.
I would give anybody an apology over there.
No,
Quite right
no.
too.
And people often expect that, TJ, and it's very weird to me.
Like, what do I owe you, honey? I don't owe you a damn thing.
I haven't done anything to you. I don't know you. Don't come in here asking for apologies. It ain't happening.
No, I might have egg on my face for having trusted too long, but I haven't had a lobotomy. I won't be running back to Ziggy, well, rolling back to Ziggy anytime soon. So dream on.
Yeah.
And
I
Ziggy
don't care
didn't-
whether I'm right or wrong with that. I really don't care, especially with
and
her.
we're not victims. We're not victims. I
No.
saw people saying that, and I thought, oh no, you don't. We're not victims. We haven't
No, we're
claimed
not.
that,
And if
we're
I
not
called her an
that.
actress, oh well, the shoe fits, whatever.
We are not whining. We're not wanting pity. We just appreciate your love.
Absolutely not. And it's worth remembering that this whole situation that arose with people digging into Lolita didn't come because anything had happened amongst this group or anybody in this larger community had been conned by her. It was to do with the fact that Ziggy wanted revenge. And that's going to remain true no matter what else changes.
And Ziggy still did what she did. Ziggy
Yep.
We fell out with Ziggy over what she did to Cindy and taking a credit card and throwing a tantrum and leaving vile, mean, awful, nasty messages for Cindy. I haven't forgotten. And if you have, go check them out on my YouTube page. You can hear them.
And they back that including Sheba's mom. So you know what? No, like I said, she can go smell her feet for all I care.
Yeah, but nothing's changed. Nothing about this changes what Ziggy did.
No,
it just added on to it. That's all. I'm sorry.
And it also doesn't make it okay in any way that Ziggy got a hold of her family or someone that was her family at some point and pulled them into this internet stuff. That is vile. I heard Karen say yesterday that why isn't that right when we support people calling her family? Karen, I'll make a statement right now. I haven't even talked to these women about it, but I can tell you 100% there's not another woman up here on this panel that thinks that anybody getting a hold of your family is okay either. It's fucked up. It's wrong.
And I have no idea where Karen gets the idea from that we even know anything about her family, let alone are encouraging anybody to call them. For goodness sake, Karen, get a grip. You were up there the other day on Shining's panel and you were saying, they were saying, she's somebody's wife, she's somebody's mother, she's somebody's daughter, don't leave her, you leave her alone. We didn't say that.
No, we didn't.
The comment was made that we didn't want to see any dragging of her or her family, which also includes the ex-husband and the new wife and that minor child, the whole caboodle that you've all dragged onto the internet. That's what we were saying. Don't let anybody drag them in the chat in the same way as no matter what bullshit you come out with, you are protected in Purple's chat. It's the same thing. We weren't saying that the greater community can't have an opinion on it. So one, if you're going to say that we said something, be accurate. Two, be logical. Three, don't be a fucking hypocrite. And I am sick to death of you casting aspersions on Eliza. You owe Eliza an apology. I will stop talking about you, possibly, when you come and give Eliza the apology for saying that she's a criminal, just because you've heard rumours from all this digging that everybody does into everybody's life. And as for they say, don't go real life, don't go real life. Yes, we did. We started out very firmly on the don't go real life bandwagon. We're still partially seated on the don't go real life bandwagon. But you lot made it go real life. We were accused of threats to a minor child. We have been dragged into the middle of a custody battle that's been going on for over a decade. Suddenly we are some aspect of that, but we didn't even fucking know these people. Sorry, I'm trying.
No, you're good.
It's fine now. It's fine now. It's late enough.
We're working on it.
No, Pearl, you're good, honey. Speak. I love it.
We didn't even know these people existed. You all go on about how much you care for the children. Don't involve the children. I hope somebody's thinking about the children in all this. But meanwhile, you have got a couple up there that you're supporting and you're big pals with, and you've all been talking for weeks. You haven't gone into any depth of research into their background because it doesn't suit what you want to do. And you also don't care that this continuing conversation is happening about a minor child. No matter what I think about Lolita, I still care very much about her children.
Can I say something about that? About that real quick, before I forget? I know for a fact that I have heard Lolita's child in the background while she's live, before we've gone live. She's well aware of the YouTube channel. She's well aware of it. So if it is indeed his child, he's putting all that out there. Yep. He may be alienating himself from his child by behaving like this. It's awful. Nobody's thinking about that kid. Nobody. It's gross. I'm sorry to interrupt, Pearl. Go ahead.
No, that was a good point.
I mean, my children are grown, and I've been divorced for 13 years, and I would never, ever air any of that up here. Ever. No. I have more respect for them.
I'll say to you again what I've said several times before. Before we knew that all these allegations about Lolita were true, I said, if this woman that you say is so terrible has got custodial responsibility for these children, what on earth is in his background that he doesn't have it?
Yeah, and I have a hard time with this whole, I couldn't see her, I couldn't do this, court orders, this, that, and the third. I mean, it's possible. Anything's possible, but I feel like, I don't know. If you really want to see your child, you'll see your child. Something will happen. You'll make it happen. You'll make anything else happen. So,
yeah, he wasn't honest on his interview with Purple the other day. I listened in a little bit. It was hard to kind of follow because they had a lot of background noise in a car and connection issues. But he was asked about an arrest that he had. And he misidentified, and this is an article that's out there publicly, news article written up. He says it was him. He admits to it happening, but he misidentifies the age of the child, and he kind of changes up the way the article was written. Doesn't match what he says actually happens. He kind of prettied that up a little bit. And then she didn't ask him about any of the other stuff that I know she was sent.
Well,
not a bit.
Purple ain't going to ask no hard-hitting questions. I mean, good Lord. That was painful. That was just so painful. Oh, God.
They were just like, oh, okay, I can understand that.
And then Heidi always brought it back to herself. Heidi, good
Yes,
Lord.
She did.
Is there not any situation that you can't just shut up and not bring it back to you? Even if it has nothing to do with you, you know somebody. Yeah, my cousin's daughter. Damn, lady. Let these
I know. She was
like,
yes, Heidi was over there saying that we were portraying ourselves as victims. No, we were quite shocked and surprised to discover that stuff was true. And we came out and we talked to you all and we said how upset we were. Being upset doesn't make us victims. No. She says, oh, they're all pretending they're victims and they want everybody's sympathy. The day that I require sympathy from you, Heidi, is the day that I will run myself under a bus.
Please don't have any.
Not that I think you have any idea how to be sympathetic to another person whose name isn't Heidi and doesn't have your face when you look in the mirror. But I don't require your sympathy. You can keep it.
Please, Heidi, I don't want nothing from you. Absolutely nothing. Your sympathy, empathy, I don't think you have it in you. It's only for yourself. Like Pearl said, you can keep it and miss me with all of that. You're highly confused, lady, but nothing new there. So
let me guess. She decided that we think that we're victims, but she just decided that by not watching, right? Because she doesn't watch us.
Yeah, she doesn't watch us, but this is how we were acting. You got to make up your mind, lady.
That anyway. Vetting.
Well, she sees without watching, as she said before.
Hearing that too.
But anyway, so I wanted to get to Oh, I'm sorry, Julie.
No. I was just saying the vetting stuff.
Yeah.
It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Jan, we didn't say that anybody that drags Lolita is trash. What we said was we hope that people don't. But I mean, that's on you. But I will continue to drag Ziggy if I feel like it, just because the woman is a wart on the ass of humanity. But you do you, Mod.
Amen. I stand with Tanya.
I agree with all that. And I thought we would go over, and I've got my screen pulled up, some of Deets on the Streets commentary on what she watched of us. Y'all ready to listen to a little bit of it and chime in?
Yeah.
That way we can answer some.
Can I just quickly, before you start, Jam 420, we didn't say that you couldn't have your opinion on Lolita. We said that we didn't want it be fighting in the chat while we were discussing the issue. We didn't want anybody dragging her or her family in that chat. I'm sure that over in Ziggy's chat, you're all absolutely kicking the first person who comes in and says something negative about Ziggy. It's that situation. I don't know what has gone wrong with the comprehension skills of this community, but you all seem to be incapable of using the same set of rules for two separate things within the same sphere. I don't understand what. Well, I do understand you're deliberately being obtuse, but don't come in here with your routine and think that it's going to get a second of sympathy.
Nope.
And I agree. God, y'all have got to get it together. And I'm looking into this. What happens once we enter the matrix? Something happens to the mind. I don't know what yet, but I'm looking into it. I will be coming out with that later. But yes, please keep some common sense about you. If you want to drag Lolita, I'm sure you're somewhere doing it. Nobody said that. Go back to our first video, really listen, or don't. I don't care. But you're not going to, well, you are. But anyway, you're going to do what you
just the things Ziggy's done this week. Alone. Lord, get out of here with that.
I know.
I will not be lectured by people who support a woman who waves around two little bits of wire and talks about the sexual abuse of a 5-year-old child, and you come in here with the moral high ground. Get out of here.
Go on.
Whoever, go ahead. You can show her out.
Yeah, because I've watched her in Ziggy's chat.
Return the favor to them that they do to us.
Yeah,
I've noticed she just doesn't comprehend well, so there's nothing we can do for you here, honey. But so back to what we're going to do is answer a few more things that the community sector, as I call it, had with Deets on the Streets, the live she did yesterday. Not the whole live, don't y'all worry. And I've got my page pulled up. Can you get it, Eliza?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good. You're good.
I was distracted for a second. Yes, right there.
Yes, ma'am.
Coming up. There you go.
Yeah. All right. I'll go ahead and play it. I'm going to mute my mic. So there's no, wait. Hold on. Y'all let me know how this sounds.
Test it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Had any issues with most of them. However,
it sounds good.
Before.
Awesome. That's perfect. That's all I needed to know. So I'll pause it where I see fit and the ladies see fit. So here we go.
I created a channel. I was a watcher in this community, just like everyone else. And I remember Lady CG vividly. I'm trying to figure out how to say this. So, and she was the main person on the Circle Jerk channel from my point of view. This is all coming from my perspective. They might have a different opinion, things like that. You see the grass.
Okay, she did create the email. She did have the password, but we all collectively brought something to the table. But I see where she's coming from.
Okay. Morning, Daddy, baby girl. From my perspective, Lady CG was the main person on the Circle Jerks, kind of running the show, leading the rest of the jerks, and, you know, kind of, I mean, they all were very opinionated and are very opinionated, and I love their individual.
Yeah, we don't want to bore people.
Individual styles and personalities, but for me, in my mind, she was the face of the channel, or button of the channel, I guess you could say. But like I said, I was a watcher on YouTube, like most of you are. And I remember her vividly from Ziggy. It happened where some women discovered that someone was catfishing their community. And the information that was found out was a lot. And it had a big effect on a lot of people because it was just insane. So when Ziggy did the raffle, does anybody remember when she did the raffle where she sold tickets to people? I don't remember if it was to, it was to the whole community. First, it was for an electricity thing, and then it was for that I don't need to get into. But when that happened, it reminded me of something I had found prior. And that's when I did a little digging. Now, I didn't know everything that was recently put out, but I knew quite a bit of it prior. What's it called? Yeah, I know. I'm gonna try to get into it. So I was already suspicious, and I looked into her and like, yeah, she's a scammer. But what is she scamming? And then as a channel creator, you know, I stopped following Ziggy. I didn't follow the Circle Jerks, and those, you know, life kind of just went on. Put it in the back of your mind. And then I did that button clip where I clipped them because I think they came into Tiffany's that day. I don't remember though.
Oh yeah, the button bitches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Whole situation.
Proud button bitch.
I have the video downloaded, but it's so old. And that's when I checked out their channel again. And this is where I owe the Circle Jerks an apology, because I was like, if she's there, I don't care to watch these women. They have to know she's scamming, like or know that she's catfishing.
Okay, I'll pause it there. Fair use. No, and this is no disrespect to Deets, absolutely none. There was no reason for us anyway at that time to know that she was catfishing. Now, if I hope Deets is in here or comes in here at some time, and I didn't get to watch this whole thing, but I hope she will maybe tell us why she believed she was catfishing. Do any of y'all have any idea?
Because of the picture that she used to use, there was a lot of people that thought, but I remember her always saying that was not her.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It was an actress.
She always said it was an actress. I mean, one thing that Lolita was very consistent on about is liking to have things named after like television shows and themes, like her spiders have a theme, her cats had a theme. It's just kind of how she was, and she always said that picture was not her,
right?
That she used on YouTube, right?
Just like mine, that's not me. It's just most of us don't come to YouTube using our real picture and or our real name. Now some did.
I'm pretty sure that this here, I'm pretty sure that's not her real picture.
No.
I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure.
Right. You know? Right. Okay, let's see what else she has to say. But that was good. Thank you all for helping me clear that up.
Because a lot of stuff was really obvious, guys. But I get it. When you're in the midst of a friendship, when you are surrounded by people that you have no reason to doubt, then you just believe and you stand up for them, because that's what good friends do. I sent this in a Discord in March. Now, I removed stuff.
She saw blank on circle jerks. Just be careful over there. Now, I don't know if she's talking about Lady CG. I imagine if she was showing this at this time, she would be okay with that. It looks like a short name.
Maybe Eve?
Oh.
It's going to be somebody that we had on panel. I saw blank on circle jerks. Just be careful over there. So it could have been a guest that we had on panel. We only had a few, so
yeah, there wasn't many.
That's why I don't know, but
remember, Deets, I am not upset. I am just trying to clear up a few things
because I don't want it to be about who it was to, but I just wanted them to be careful over there because of Lady CG. But there was no reason for me to out her business, because she wasn't, as far as I knew, she wasn't financially scamming the community or things like that. Not that I had seen. But her past is a lot. And Ziggy, and she dropped it. And see, I just don't watch Purple Phoenix or Jenna to know what all they did. And I know the Circle Jerks cover them a lot, so that's kind of another.
Oh no, ma'am, we didn't cover Jenna a lot. Oh God. Now Purple, on the other hand, yeah, but not Jenna. So it wasn't a Jenna Purple show. But I see, if you're just like glancing in at the channel from time to time, you may, because we do clown on Purple a lot for good reason. I do not apologize. I speak for myself, but
you can speak for me on that one too.
Right. So here we go.
But I guess they dropped all the information too. And I watched that live. It was right before we went on vacation. And I was watching the live on both, flipping back and forth. I didn't get there till like halfway through, but I was flipping back and forth. And I couldn't understand how they were seeing that, like, yeah, I know you don't want to believe the information because of who it's coming from, but it's legit information, y'all.
Okay. That right there, though, that right there. Look where the information was coming from. It was coming from Ziggy. Ziggy has lied to us.
Report. She started out lying.
She lied to us so many times that she has no credibility, and we knew she had an axe to grind. So it's hard to believe. We didn't believe her.
Right.
Of course, yeah. It took us. I mean, we listened at some point. At some point, we did look into it. But, yeah, we took longer than others because we don't believe Ziggy. And Jenna and Purple, not real credible sources either.
And they all said we were criminals as well.
Right.
That's right. They lied on us, so why wouldn't they lie on her?
And also, when Lolita was wanting to go forth with the June 12th, I'll never forget June 12th, y'all. I swear I'm going to mark it on my calendar every year. But when she was willing to go forth with the June 12th, for me personally, I was like, oh, wow, she really is secure in who she is. So you got to remember that too. But I get it.
And I was kind of like, what? Why are they not believing this? Why are they not looking into it themselves? And that's right.
And we did. And we'll get into that in a minute.
I owe them an apology because they are not her. The rest of them are not, her. And they did a live last night. So the Circle Jerks have split. Let me see here. And they did a live last night on their new channel. This is the video, but you should all go sub up to these women. Because listening to them last night broke my heart. Yeah, Sarah, to us. I remember her being Scott's mod and calling me out for saying there was a willow tree in Beach Creek. Why would she call you out for that? Morning, Running Bear. That's weird. She did, and that's exactly right, Chris. When we say scamming, we think of financial scamming, but that's not always the case, is it? Sometimes when you're catfished in a group of friendships, there's no money exchange. There's no.
This is true. There was no money exchange in this type of scam. None.
Monetary gain in that, but there is a gain elsewhere, and it's still a scam. It's, being catfished is still a scam, and it still hurts. And
yes, it does.
Watching these women express their feelings, my heart broke for them. I remember exactly what that felt like, finding out someone was catfishing me.
And I think she loses sound for a while here. But it seems like we aren't the only ones that have been through this type of.
Good.
Wait a minute, did she lose it? She loses sound for a while.
Liplock said, that's why I can't believe some creators too. I know for a fact that they've lied about me, so how can I believe what they say about others? Exactly, Liplock. And that's where a lot of this came to be.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Lolita ain't the first, and she won't be the last.
Their fault. They're a victim of that. Right, an emotional scam. That's exactly it. It is hard checking convictions to find out that someone whom you thought was true turns out to be a fraud. And I really like how the ladies did this live.
Thank you.
They came on with their let me make it bigger for you all. They came on in like funeral attire because they were. I think one of them even said it's like we grieved a loss, almost like a death in the family, and it is. Good morning, Linda. Hey, headstones and headlines, squirrels on fire. How are you? That hits hard. That hits hard. And my heart breaks for you all.
Also, I wanted to say this. We were not the only ones that spoke to her. I won't name them, but they know who they are. There were other people that she spoke to on a daily basis or weekly basis that she also, gave these stories to on who she was or claimed to be. So just want y'all to keep that in mind too. We did talk to her the most, as we kind of were co-workers, if that's what you want to call it, on YouTube. But we weren't the only ones.
Hi, Sassy. You in here screenshotting?
Is she in here?
So Heidi's got to find out somehow. Don't leave glitter on our bushes.
No glitter. I hate that shit.
Sassy, you need to get one face on. One face.
She said this week that she thanked Jenna for bullying her because it made her stronger for us. Girl, we barely ever say your name. What are you talking about?
God. Who thanks somebody for bullying them?
Go sit your ass in the welcome room.
Oh, God.
Ninjas don't wear glitter. How could you be a ninja and wear glitter? I mean, glitter falls and leaves a trail everywhere.
And
don't just
please,
ninjas are stealthy.
And please don't ever thank anybody for bullying you. Like, that's not, no.
That's weird. That's weird, right? That's weird.
I'm sorry you feel that way, though.
It cuts deep and it takes a while. And right now, listening to their live, it kind of sounds like they're in the shocked stage of it all. in the shock stage of grief, and I hesitate to say grief because some of you might be like, oh, what are they grieving? But it's truly like losing a person. It sounds like all of these women, were very connected, spent a lot of time with each other, sharing personal stories and things like that. And then to find out they were being lied to kind of screws with your mind. It truly.
It does. And then you start to remember things little by little that they said to you. Now, we said this early. We don't want anyone like, we're not victims here. We just met somebody on here. She told us who she was. We lived this with her. So what'd you say earlier, Eliza? I like what you said in the Discord.
About, refresh my memory real quick. I'm sorry. I was reading comments.
Oh, no.
What I said about,
we talked every day to her, so we just.
Yeah, you talk every day, just like, I mean, some of you have friendships like that, certainly, where you talk to the person every day. You talk about, families and whatnot, and I've talked to her while she's at work. I've talked to her as she's driving home from work, and all the daily things and it was day to day to day to day, very elaborate. There was no reason that I would think of, like, suddenly I think she might be lying and send me your this and send me your that. I don't. If you guys do that with your friends, if you say you do that with all your friends, you're lying.
Well, Susie said something interesting in chat. She said, I think because y'all seem intelligent, that's why it's harder for some to understand. Let me put it like this. You know how sometimes you're with a man and something just ain't quite right, but you don't want to really see it?
Yep.
It was kind of like that.
Yeah.
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 There was emotion involved. We cared about her.
Yeah. So you don't think that, I mean, when you, and someone also said this, I think it was Deets. She's like, I have a friend or somebody that's a nurse practitioner. How does she spend all this time on YouTube? Well, I mean, you do bring up a good point.
How many times did she'd not been around in any of the things that we're going to be talking about?
Right.
And she was always doing stuff in the background. Yes, she'd quite often be talking to us during the day. There was always something going on, always. She was never just sitting on the internet.
No.
Right. There were times where we would be in Discord and she would say something like, catch me up real quick, I'm on my break, or catch me up real quick, I can't turn it on, but I'm in the bathroom. Things like that, it was like typical, like normally what your friend might say, like, I'm just sneaking on Discord real quick, tell me real quick what's going on.
Nurse practitioners and doctors don't have a single spare moment in their day. One, they're selling you a dummy, and two, you've never been on TikTok. Even during COVID, there were nurses and doctors and all sorts of health workers who, just to let off steam, were doing TikTok dances. They're not chained to their job 24 hours a day. Yes, they are very busy people, but you know what? A lot of people's careers are very busy, and they still find time for social media.
Oh, wow. A lot of people do now, especially. You see them on YouTube, chiropractors, doctors, ear doctors, that doctor that still work, and they find time to make content to help you with your sciatic nerve or whatever. So, no, I never thought because she was on YouTube with us that she wasn't. But that was just us.
I'm 60 like they are busy, but
they are busy, but also, my kids saw a nurse practitioner for a pediatrician many times, but they had office hours. It wasn't 24 hours that they went to work, they worked, and then they went home from work. So, there are many different scenarios that it could be. I didn't think about it that hard. Right. I just didn't.
Now, had she said she worked in the ER, I'd have been like, oh, God, what are you doing? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although
That's
I
not
must
what
say
she claimed.
that one of the things that also sold me on the medical background aspect was her saying once that she felt that she'd lost her ability to feel things deeply
Yes.
as a result of working through COVID.
Mhm.
And that rang true to me because I'm aware of other health workers who have had a similar experience, that sort of emotional burnout.
Yep.
So sometimes when she was cold and indifferent, that totally held true with her saying to us, emotionally, I feel like I've burnt out and that it's damaged me.
Yeah. Because I've heard
Deets,
that from my own.
Deets is here now. She said she's catching up, but it wasn't her picture that led her to believe she was catfishing.
Oh,
Okay.
good. Great. Thank
I
you.
just
maybe when she
remembered that everybody questioned in that picture a while back, so I thought maybe that was it.
maybe
it
when
the
she
one-
catches up, she could let us know what it was. Because
Yeah, because I'm curious which picture, if it was the Lady CG one or something else. But thank
well,
you.
she says
Dee.
it wasn't even the picture, so we have
Yeah.
to see what it was that made her feel certain way before.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
did she
curious.
know this? Did she feel that before the June? Well,
Yeah.
was it right after Ziggy had that? Oh my God, you guys! I'm telling you this. I don't care because I'm leaving YouTube anyway. Was it that moment? Because that was kind of like weird to us, and we didn't look into it because that was weird, right?
Ziggy. It's Ziggy, yeah. So I am curious, and I do not mean this in a shady way. I'm just curious what led her to that conclusion and others. So
Same.
Lean on me. I can't speak for everybody else, but part of the issue for me, before I still have not listened to the whole of Ziggy's life, and I've not listened to any of the other people's lives. I think when it started dawning on me, before we even had this conversation as a group, most of the photographs that were originally shown in little snippets were photographs that I was aware have been taken out of a private Discord.
yeah.
When the photograph in the car was shown,
Yes.
and the wedding photograph, not so much because it was a terrible photograph. I could quite easily imagine that being messed about in some way because it was just a really bad photograph.
Right.
But the photograph in the car, the image from the car, which was so clearly her.
It was.
And it was her son.
Yep.
I don't know who the girls were in the back. That was the real turning point.
And she
the
that
starting point of looking at everything else.
Yeah, that really, the photograph in the car was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Somebody help me out here because this is how. And
that was not a photo that had come out of our Discord. That I knew.
Yes.
Yeah, that wasn't.
Some of the other stuff that was in Discord, knowing some of the people that were working on this and knowing their past history, also some things that were on the documents, cursors left in certain places, led us to believe that it could be easily. I mean, one of the Facebook posts, it said that it had been taken 45 minutes or it had been posted 45 minutes ago or something, some short amount of time. Yeah. How did they know all those years ago to screenshot that and then have this? So there was a lot of things that when we did first look at it, go, this is all bullshit. So why waste your time going into it all? So this is another thing that kind of caused us to go, these guys are just like ridiculous. It was starting to look like it was manufactured. So there's a lot of reasons why we came to the conclusions that we kind of came to and didn't give it a lot of weight until, as Pearl said, that one photo for me too in the car. And I even asked her about that child in the back.
Amara, this is a wake-up call.
Yeah. Also,
I can't stress it to you enough, and unless you listen to the last live that she presented, where I would actually say during that live, she was more nervous than I've ever heard her before. But
Yes.
even in that live, she just was not engaging with the situation whatsoever.
No, she wasn't.
We're talking about somebody who was so unbothered by all this coming out that we couldn't conceive of it being true, because you would just think, how, if you knew that somebody was coming forward with all this information, would you be so calm and flippant? I could not get my head around it.
No,
I still can't.
I still can't either. I would expect if someone was coming out to spill your personal past, oh my God, that you would be like, whoa, we've got to do something. Definitely got to talk to my girls, and we're definitely not going to restream it. She was very cool about it. I mean, and well, and that was disturbing. But at the time, I didn't find it disturbing. I just thought she was that confident that this was wrong. So that's why at the time we did not question this. And also what they said earlier, the other YouTuber who had put screenshots up and left the cursor on when she took a screenshot, you could tell a lot of things were manufactured. You know, it's coming from Ziggy mainly. She gave it to a send-off dummy and then brought it back to herself. There ain't no way I'm taking their word for it. Until, and only until, the photos, and then looking further into things. And remember, y'all, this happened June 12th. It's been a week. It took a week for us to start putting things together. So for those asking, how did it take so long? It really didn't take long.
And we do other things besides YouTube.
the same people who were so quick to say, how could she be a nurse practitioner and have time for the internet, also think that all these ladies who've got busy working lives, 2 of whom are in companies, could also drop everything and spend all their day on the internet. I mean, make your minds up, which is it?
Right. I have a full-time 40-hour-a-week job and a family. So looking in to Lolita, I just wasn't on my to-do list until now. It did consume my life last week more than it should have. And then it also the emotional
Well,
can I just put in a second?
I work in healthcare.
Oh, hold on, both of yous are talking.
Oh, I work in healthcare, and you know, I work a long day every day, 5 days a week. And, you know, I find time for YouTube when I leave work. I try to leave it at work, and I come home and, you know, YouTube and my friends, you know, with these ladies is my downtime. And, you know, I do make time for them. So, you know, it is possible to go to work all day and, you know, and find time for other things besides, you know, just work.
Yeah, it's possible.
But I have more time than they do, since I don't cook. So,
Pearl, you wanted to address something?
Yeah.
Pearl?
I was just going to say to Candy Corn in the chat, having come back, having been kicked out as Danny C, your comments are too alike for you to actually not be the same person. You can say it as much as you want to say it. We've told you all the reasons why we didn't look into it. The answer's not going to change no matter how many times you come in under different personas and ask the same question. I don't know what you want me to do. Skywrite it, tattoo it on my forehead. The answer will remain the same. We didn't.
I mean, what do you want us to come up here and tell you the truth, or you want us to lie to you? I mean,
Deets on the streets, I would actually be good with that. Would you ladies be good with dropping her a link and letting her come up?
I've got no problem with that at all. I think it's great.
Love that. Yeah.
I suppose. I suppose.
I'm going to stop sharing screen. Yo, at Deets, we're going to drop you a link.
Maybe. I'm trying.
She's trying. No, she's actually trying.
Here it comes. So it's sometimes my iPad doesn't let me do it. There it goes. That's just for Deets.
Yeah, I don't think anybody else would. We got a
Most of
pretty
our people are pretty respectful
yeah.
of that. We've had occasional people that have tried to just come up without an invitation, and
Yeah.
Candy corn.
I'll try not to cry myself to sleep tonight, knowing that I've disappointed you, Candy corn.
We're not perfect. We are not perfect.
We're humans.
You know,
I'm
if
actually
you had it
disappointed.
all figured out, then you
We're
should
just
have
moms
went
and
with it.
grandmas and regular people. Okay,
You'll be okay.
I'm
If
actually
she had it
disappointed
fit-
that
or
I didn't
if-
know sooner. You know,
If
I
Candy
am.
Corn had it all figured out, then they should have went with it. We're not perfect. We did the best we could. We kept as much of it private as we could. It's like a family. We didn't go outside our family for a while.
We didn't run to the internet. It's weird.
We handled it like a family.
We could have come a couple days. We could have come a couple. Go ahead. I'm sorry, talking over you. Go ahead. Sorry, TJ.
I'm sorry that nobody totally gets it. We don't totally get it. We did what we did the way we thought was best. If y'all don't like it, sorry.
I was going to say we could have come a few days earlier. We had to wait for the channel. We lost our channel when we left, okay? We had to start a new one. It takes time. You have to have it for at least 24 hours before YouTube lets you go live on it. We had to work out a lot of things, but as soon as we possibly could, we brought it to you, okay?
Hey, Deets.
Hey, how's it going?
It's a going. How are you?
Yeah, it's a lot for you
Welcome.
guys. I'm so sorry y'all are going through this. It sounds heartbreaking.
Most people are awesome. There's a few people that are just
You're
ditch
gonna have
donkeys.
those.
They're just ditch
Yeah.
donkeys, and
Ditch donkeys. I like that. Hey, Amara. Hey, beautiful. So it was kind of hard for me to explain, and maybe I never script my shows. I don't know if you guys do or not, but I never even write anything
we
down.
don't.
I just have like a general idea of what I'm going to go talk about. Well, when I did that yesterday, I got in there and I was like, "Ew, how do I explain this without explaining too much?" Because I don't think my audience, not the bulk of them anyway, are Ziggy watchers or were Ziggy watchers. Some of them are. But I've explained before on my channel that unfortunately, Ziggy's channel is the first one that I landed on when I came to YouTube in October, end of October, beginning of November of 21. I was looking for information about Dawn and Candace. The very first night I put Dawn's name into YouTube, her live popped up and he was there. And that was like my first introduction to YouTube live chats, this whole like back alley crap of YouTube. And I landed right in it. But I didn't even know that, they had live chats and people interacted that way. And then I see the father of the missing girl. I'm looking up on her information and stuff, and there's the dad up on it on a live. And so I became very into snooping around the YouTube, the true crime community, although now I call it the Karama community, and branched out from Ziggy's. It was the end of October, beginning of November. We Frosty thinks I'm someone else, but there's a couple girls here in chat who have figured out from my voice exactly who I am, and if they want to, they can tell you that I'm not Dee Dee or whoever it was you thought I was. But
is Deets.
Please don't say my name if you know it, though.
No, I just know you Deets. Yeah.
Yeah. But I was in Ziggy's. I was in her chat. I was a mod for her, and I was in her Discord. It was my first experience with the Discord and all of that. Thank you, 6F. Yes, I'm Deets. I don't know. Some of you girls were in there. I know Soup was, and maybe I don't know because I don't know what your names were when you were over. I know Pearl was.
Yeah.
I don't know what your names were when you were over at Ziggy's initially. Might have figured out my voice and who I am, but I wasn't super active in I wasn't like I wasn't close with her. I wasn't, super busy in the chats or the discords or things
Yeah,
like
I
that.
wasn't super close with her either.
Yeah.
I did mod, and I was in her Discord, but we weren't like
Yeah, I just
Lita.
chit-chatted a few times.
Yeah, they had a relationship. Me and Ziggy didn't.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't have a relationship with Ziggy either.
I didn't either.
I was in Discord, but I didn't have that kind of relationship with Ziggy.
And do you remember when that one girl was outed for she was actually doxxed in the Discord, I think it was justified because she ended up being a predator. Yeah.
Yeah.
When that happened, Lady CG was very vocal about it, vocal in standing up for her. I don't know if anybody else remembers this.
I don't remember that, but I will take your word for it. I'm appalled that that's the case because I was very much on the side of she needs kicking to the moon. And I'm astonished that she's still welcomed in some people's chats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was quite a bit. And I think it stunned a lot of people finding out that information. That's why I was like, I can understand where you guys are coming from with this. When you figure, because some of us were closer to her than even, Ziggy or others. And so when that came out, oh, I'm sorry, Wee Frosty. Maybe there's another one with the same Frosty in their name that kept coming in my community post thinking I was someone else. Maybe a different Frosty. My bad.
There's just somebody called just with the name Frosty.
No, I know her. It's not her.
Okay.
I can't remember who it was, but I have the anyway. When that all happened, it affected a lot of people, and a lot of people were hurt by it. So that's why I can relate to what you guys are going through with her, with Lady CG. That's what she is in my mind, not Lolita. So I know that you guys think of her as Lolita, but she was very vocal about it. She was also very in support of her to a certain extent. And then all that stuff went down with Ziggy and quitting her Discord and all that stuff. And Lady CG took over the Discord. And some things that she had said about that prior situation, as well as some things that she said just in the Discord about her own life, I was like, I don't know, I just pick up on some of those things.
You picked up on it sooner.
And I looked her up, and then she went up on, I don't know if you guys remember the night that she went on Scott's panel and was like the go-between voice for Ziggy.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. And she was herself on screen that night. And that was the last little bit of information I needed to put together that she was this other person, because then I saw her, because you're right, her previous picture was a model and she had said that. But then you saw who she was and it was like, oh, so she truly is this other individual. But like I said, it's just information I logged away because there was no reason to do anything with it.
Can I ask you, was it specifically, and you may have said, and I didn't hear you that well, what was it specifically that she said or done that you were like, nope, you're not who you say you are?
I mean, enough to dig into her background. That's the part I want to hear.
I didn't dig deep into her background, and that's what I said in my live. Like, I didn't know all the stuff that was just released last week. I didn't know all those things. I just knew a few of them. But she told us 2 different professions in the Discord that she currently had. And the main thing was she would constantly come in and show off her flowers in her home, remember?
Yep.
I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah, I do.
Yep. And I don't know if I'm the only observant one like this, but in one picture she had these flowers, which I loved the flowers. I loved the her and I used to talk about clematis. And in one shot she had her house in the background, and then I think it was like a week later she showed another shot and it was a completely different house, but she said, that's where I live in both times. And I was like, oh,
good catch. That was a good catch.
It's just little things like that, and the big thing was her profession. It was kind of weird.
What was her other profession? Do you remember what she said it was?
Well, she did mention that she was a CPA in the Discord, and that's why when she said that the other night, she's like, "I never said I was a CPA." It's like, oh, well, okay.
You remember that she did. Wow. See, the house thing, I'll just tell y'all, she did send a picture of the house. Big, beautiful home. I thought, yeah, that's probably a house a nurse practitioner would live in. And then, once we done some digging, that's not her home. So that was something. See, I didn't pay attention much. I do like her flowers.
Oh yeah, they were gorgeous.
If
they're hers.
Yeah, if they're hers. But I didn't catch it that much as far as like maybe because I wasn't paying attention to the Discord that she was dropping all the flowers and bugs and spiders and all that in.
Yeah, well, and I think at the time there was another girl in there that ended up being was catfishing and saying she was someone she wasn't. And I think it was at the end of that other situation, and that was the first time I'd ever experienced anything like that personally. And I had told that woman, personal things about myself, so it was kind of like, oh, this really sucks. But I don't have anything in my background that if it gets outed or doxed, I'm not concerned.
But still, when you tell somebody personal stuff about yourself and then you find out that they're not even who they say they are, it's unnerving.
It's very unnerving because you offer these people a certain amount of trust. Maybe not the same amount that you would offer someone in real life, but you still offer them a certain amount of trust. And then when that's broken, it's heartbreaking. And so I think that right after that situation, and this has all been over a year ago, girl, so my memory's a little fuzzy on it, but all that
was
went
me.
down.
Like, I was the catfish, but I've been really open about that with these ladies and everybody else. You know what I mean? Just because I fucked up, man. You take it on the chin and you move on,
You were a catfish?
Oh, that's okay. So now
yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I've spoke very, very openly about that.
Okay, I've got a lot on my mind. Y'all bear with me.
Wait. She's not the predator. Let's get that out there. She's not the predator catfish. No, I don't want people to run with that. No.
Oh, yeah, no. Tanga was catfished. Gotcha.
Yeah, and so there was it was right after that situation, and then the stuff with Tanga, which I didn't know that was you, but the stuff with her, and I was just kind of paying attention to things because at that time I was questioning, should I even be in here? This is crazy,
Yeah.
So ended up leaving pretty quick or soon after that anyway, but that's when and then her hopping up on Scott's was just that last little puzzle piece. Because I wouldn't typically do that, look into people or any of those things, but it was just a very weird time in that Discord.
It was, and then it switched hands, and then we became the jerks. And oh my God, Rowena, I had forgot about that. You did a live on the other channel with us, and you and her spoke, and God.
Amara, you're right. We should have ran far away.
See, as each day passes, it's bizarre, but you remember things and you think about things that you didn't before. And so
well, my situation was part of why I was really hoping that Lolita would just talk to us and let us help her out, because the internet, these people can be really, really forgiving if you just own it and move on,
And they will.
You can.
Like, and that's why I said it on my live yesterday, which, by the way, play it anything, anytime, and you do not have to drop my link. I like that, and I appreciate that, but you do not have to do that.
No, we'll drop your link.
We do that for everybody.
I did too, but I'm just letting you know, it's not like, I know some people are so weird about that.
I had a feeling you weren't petty.
But no.
I just did.
Yeah. Not at all. But I just totally lost my train of thought. That's horrible. What were we talking about before I mentioned that?
Oh, that Tanga was hoping that with her story.
So, yeah, and I didn't even know that was you, Tanga. Now I know exactly what you're referencing. I didn't even know that was you because I only knew who Soup was from, and Pearl, like I said, from Ziggy's Discord, just because their voices are so obvious, it's easy to pick up on.
Oh, yeah.
And That's why I didn't watch your guys' show, because of Lolita, because of Lady CG, and it had nothing to
I
do
never
with,
spoke in Ziggy's
yeah.
Discord, and I
No.
never went on Ziggy's panel. I never used my voice at all until we started. So you
Yeah.
might have
Oh,
me
then
mixed up
I
with
have
somebody
you as
else.
someone else in my mind, so I have that wrong. But
I was gonna say, I didn't think you had.
wait, let me type this in the back chat.
Back chat.
Yeah.
Oh.
And we've all told everybody who we were. I mean, we can just say it out loud if you have any questions about that.
Yeah, and I don't, and like I said, like I had to apologize because I didn't watch your channel because I thought you all knew about her and like
No.
supported
No,
that.
we really
So, and
didn't.
it wasn't like that was wrong to do that, to support her or to stand beside her through that, but it was just kind of like, ooh, I want to stay away from that situation, you know?
No, I wish we had.
Yeah.
I wish somebody would have been like, woo, hey, not Ziggy, but anybody else. Well, there's a couple others, and not a Jen or a Purple, but I wish somebody would say, ladies, listen, I think you may be trusting somebody that's not who they were saying that they are. I wish I would have known. Pearl had to drop down. She's not feeling well, and she's in the UK, so it's late her time. But no, we had absolutely no clue. And I see some people, which is fair, I guess, to a point. Some people are like, "How did y'all not know?" And we've explained that we didn't know because, God Almighty, I thought she was who she said she was. I don't usually run into people. And I like what you said last night, Deets, or yesterday. You said, people lie, little white lies. We lie to our kids, Santa, Tooth Fairy, all that stuff. But when you start lying about your life to that degree, this to me is like something you would see in I don't know, some type of documentary ID channel. This is very bizarre. So
yeah, it's a lot.
yeah,
And that's how it was with that other girl, not Tanga, but the other lady is, it just kind of hits you in the face like a ton of bricks, and you're like, oh, what are people truly like out here, And some of them, I say the vast majority of people in the world, in life or on YouTube even, are good people. And then there's, the 5% that are really bad apples, and they truly do spoil it for everyone else. They spoil your trust in others
Well,
as well.
yeah, I don't know about the rest of the girls, but I'm skittish right now. I'm a little jumpy. I don't, I'm just feeling a certain way. Like, yeah. And I was thinking about this earlier. Does something happen to us mentally when we come on the matrix? I call this the matrix. There's the life, you have your life that you really are. And typically people bring that to YouTube, but not everything, of course. And then I guess there's some that bring or come here to create the life that they want. And I don't understand that because you can't live up to it. Also, not just in the true crime sector, but any sector of YouTube, you're going to get found out.
You are. The truth always comes out, and that's what I said. The truth, no matter what situation. And I was kind of using this situation with you guys to blend into some other stuff that's been going on that was absolutely horrendous happening on these streets, because people are just, sometimes those 5% are just pathological liars, and it's hard to figure out why. Why do they choose to lie so much? And it's so frustrating when you're not like that as a person and you encounter these people.
Yeah.
But the truth always comes out. It might take a while, it might take a year, it might take 2 years, or it might even take longer, but it comes out.
And that's the part for me that makes it so hard is I don't know if you watched the live that she done after we had left, or the first one she had done by herself. She acted as if nothing happened. Like all these people are asking her in the chat, where's the other jerks? It's like we never existed. We were ghosts.
Yeah, she tried to say that she was just doing moving content around, and she could only do that while she was live, and that didn't make any kind of sense at all, because that's not true.
Yeah, it's still a very wild feeling.
And there was no sense of remorse, even. Like, there was just, it was so blank. It was disturbing.
I was kind of curious about that, like what happened after, you guys discovered it, because, I remember with the other girl, she tried to lie about it and tried to convince us of something else, and it was a whole
She didn't.
rigmarole.
She just didn't own up to it, and she just kind of stonewalled us. I think part of me thinks that she kind of thought that maybe we'd show up to that live on Friday or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Which was weird because, like Eliza said, she stonewalled us. She was very flippant about our questions. We had all the proof. We were presenting her with it, and it was, I can't believe you guys. I'm just shaking my head. I am who I say I am. No, you're not. And,
I mean, she kept me on as a editor on the channel all the way up until she did that live on Friday, and then I think when I looked again, she had finally taken me completely off. I still had I could have went in there, and I still had a wrench in there. I could have really, like, I wish I would have been able to trust her like she seemed to trust me. You know what I mean? She trusted me with all that. I wouldn't do anything to circle jerk, but I just wish that she would have trusted me, like or do you understand what I'm saying? Like she like knew that I wouldn't do anything, or I think, was it a test? I don't know, but I was already done at that point when we told her, that's it, we're walking away. We walked away. We were done. Nothing else is going to change that at this point. That's why I quit looking into her further. I'm sure I could dig and dig and dig and find more stuff on her, but I have my answer as to, not who she said she was. It was all a lie, and so I'm not going to waste time doing that. I'm going to use my time doing things I enjoy doing.
I think that's a great plan. Like I said, I only knew a very small portion. I knew a little bit about our ex, her, and her current, but I didn't know a lot of the details that were put out, and that was a lot. So I truly feel for you all, because when you're in a group of ladies that you fully trust, and I don't know how many of you were there, and you're sharing your life, you're sharing pictures of your kids and your vacations and all of those things. It's a real genuine friendship. I've talked about this before. Our age group, it's a little different because we remember a time where we weren't online. We didn't have an online life or an online presence.
Right.
But I was talking with my children who are in their, early mid-20s, and I was explaining something about online versus real life, and they're like, it's all real life. There's no, they're like, your online life is your real life. What are you, talking about? And for them who have grown up where they've only known, they've always had social media, they've always had, connections through the internet.
Well, they grew up in the age of information. Yeah.
And I think we are becoming like that too, because it is real. It's very real, especially when you're sharing so much with each other, and you're getting pictures from this woman and she's telling you one thing, and even if she wasn't lying about that picture or whatever, say she did send you a picture of her actual daughter, you're gonna be in this phase where you just start wondering all the time, like, was this real? Was that real? Did she mean that? Did she mean this? It's very confusing.
And do you understand, maybe a little bit, you don't have to elaborate if you don't want to, why we would have a hard time believing anything that comes out of Ziggy's mouth?
I said that. Maybe you didn't get to that point in my life. Like, I totally get it. I wouldn't believe anything out of Ziggy either at all. Like, not for 1 second.
Right.
But
that's
I would have
made it so, like, who it was coming from, and we knew the motivation behind it. Like, girl, I don't believe nothing you say. Okay, you use dowsing rods to ask the dumbest questions, and I hope they poke you in the eye. But anyway, we did.
Ziggy accused Lolita of cursing her vagina. I mean, this
it got
like
really crazy.
Everybody knows it with me.
Super. Yeah, that's what Tanga does. That wasn't Lolita's department.
Yeah.
So it starts getting really weird and murky. Like, you definitely don't believe Ziggy or that other one or
No.
the other one. And it's like, yeah, it just gets real murky. And then she goes forth with the June 12th thing. And we're like right there with her. Although I think it was the next day I started having some questions. Or no, it was 2 days later. Yeah, I started having questions of myself that I hadn't shared with anybody.
Right.
And then by Monday of last week, which would have been the 19th, that's when things started happening. The ball started moving and conversations were being had. And by Wednesday, I want to say, we were having a conversation. No, Tuesday, we had a conversation with her, didn't get anywhere. And then
Tuesday night, we met with our people in our Discord and let them know what we were going to do.
Yeah, we met with her first.
Oh, absolutely. First,
yeah.
her. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I gave her 10 minutes. I wasn't getting anything and I wasn't going to play those games. I don't do that. You're going to be real with me, keep it a buck, or I'm moving on from this point. Cause I got enough now to where I know who you are. So if you're not going, see, here's the thing, Deets, if she had a reason for lying, like I'm protecting my child or whatever, we would have got, okay, we get that. And the shit from her past don't matter either. We all have got some type of past. That didn't matter. But what did matter is that you let us get up there and you let us defend this. And now I'm looking like a fool. Okay. I don't like that.
She did make you guys look like fools throughout that whole life. I'm not trying to be rude or mean to y'all, but
no, it's the truth.
I think something else also is during all of that, the lead up to it, she was and throughout it, she was so cool, calm, and relaxed about it all that it was so easy to believe that she knew nothing about this.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
I get it too. I would have done the exact same thing for, one of my closest friends, my fellow creator channel holder, if I truly believed her. And that's the frustrating part because, like I said, she did make you look a certain way, and that burns. That has to hurt. And I thought that you guys handled it with grace and it was very, very clever, but also appropriate, the way that you started your channel with the black on and then switched to your new buttons. And I think that was great, the way you handled it.
I heard you say that and I appreciate it.
Thank
and you were fair with your commentary. You really were. It was a good place to start with some of the questions that the sector has had about us. And that's why I wanted to use it, because.
Yeah. And you're probably going to get a lot because it is, when you're on the outside looking in, unless you've been through something very similar, and the way that some of the minds of the people that you're working with, the Purples and the Ziggies, you're going to have crazy conspiracies and crap just because of those people. And it's unfortunate, but that's what you get.
We've had people say, oh, they were all in it for money and there was some type of scam. Not everything is a conspiracy theory. I wish some people would just pipe down, but it's going to happen. There ain't nothing you can do about it. But for the people that really want to understand, and really have a brain, we want to at least extend that courtesy of, look, here's what we knew. Here's what we didn't know. Here's how we handled it.
Well, and that's, I assume that you guys did not know at all because, once I realized you didn't know at all, because like I said, there was no reason for me to ever do anything with what I had found because she wasn't, to the best of my knowledge, she wasn't out here scamming people for money or
she never got none out of
any
me.
of that. So
not that we know of.
Right. Yeah, if she would have just been honest with you all, I think you could have worked it out and come to something better. So it's very disheartening that she wasn't, real with her close friends on here.
Well, she ain't even real with herself.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, I think she really does live in a fantasy life, and I think part of her believes that she's so deep in there. I don't know. I can't wrap my mind around anything other than that, because it just absolutely makes no sense to me that the things that she lied about. I mean, we didn't care. We don't care if you have a nice house. We just don't care. You know, we don't care about any of that stuff. We cared about the person that we thought she was, not about her
And
job, not about
I
anything
also
else.
feel like she has the right to anonymity, but once everything was out there and she's got us defending her publicly like that it's not her as a person. Once we start finding out that it is, I mean, we didn't.
Yeah,
really
that was the hard part, is to try to get her to tell us who she was, when she absolutely had the right to keep her actual name to herself. And so it was like, it was really awkward too, to try to, once we got to that point, to almost demand it from her. And
yeah, that was a weird feeling.
yeah, I just asked her to show me anything, to show me that you are who you say you are. Just like anything, throw me a crumb, and I got nothing, not even a crumb. But it was a incredibly, like, such an awkward position to be in. So
867.
all I could do is go by what I knew to be lies. I had nothing for her to. She didn't defend against it in a way that I could, like, okay. It was just weird. It was. I hope I never have to do it again. It was
867-5309. You wonder if we're underestimating her.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We don't know her.
Yeah.
We don't know her. That's the thing, was we knew a character. We knew a person that she was playing. So yeah, I mean, we absolutely could be underestimating her. We could be overestimating her. We don't know her. She isn't real. The person that, we're talking about doesn't exist. She's not real.
Yeah. It's a strange dynamic.
And that's hard.
Yeah. So if you ever find yourself in it, I definitely will have a lot of empathy for anyone that finds themselves in that situation. It's a first for me. And I've been on YouTube for a while from a different sector, and I've never experienced this. This was a first.
It's crazy.
I mean, at least with Ziggy, we fell out with Ziggy. That's another thing that, I didn't really talk about how hard this was to walk away the way that we did, because, normally you have a big fight when you fall out with friends, right? Or somebody. Yeah. There's like a big blowout and everything else, and they said something mean and maybe you said something mean or something like that. There was none of that. So this was just like hard. That's why it even more so sort of felt like a death all of a sudden. This person's just been immediately, suddenly taken away from your life. It's weird. With Ziggy, when we left, already seen for a long time before, I left before we left, like a lot of the other ones left. I had kind of checked out because, all her stuff was pretty apparent online for everybody to see.
We had started distancing ourselves from Ziggy months before the Cindy credit card, all that. Like
I started feeling sorry for her just a tiny, tiny bit when Jim died, but then the way she behaved when he did, I was like, I can't. I'm done. This is like, who behaves like that? I've dealt with the loss like that. You don't behave like that. It's just, I couldn't do it. So with Ziggy, it was way easier. Yeah. This was completely different. Ziggy, we knew who she was. She was showing us who she was all day long. This other person, we just didn't know.
Well, and unless you guys were super close with Ziggy, that's what made it easy. Like, I wasn't even close with her at all. I didn't talk to her privately.
No, I wasn't close with her at all.
Her number, any of those things at all. And y'all know she was rarely even in her own Discord. So, like, I didn't have any sort of relationship with her outside. But I left right after the whole, what's that girl's name? She had truth in her name. It was like this whole triangle of fallout, and
Oh, with
began
Tabby?
doxing.
Truth for the Missing?
Tabby, yes, Tabby.
Yeah,
It was
Tabby's
that
in the
whole
chat.
situation,
Yeah.
and where Ziggy went over there and doxed Six Up, and all those things on Tabby's channel, and for me, that's when she like got really, really just spiraled out of control, and I was like, I don't want nothing to do with any of this.
That was the beginning of it.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of it. Yeah.
867-5309 ask, having had this experience happen to you now, does it change your perspective on things you've seen happen in other situations? The soup? Yeah, it does. Things that she's told me. Yeah. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about, girl. It sure has.
And that could be the part of, where 8675 asked earlier, could you be underestimating her? It's something I thought about in that other situation that I remember from the other girl. There was some running around between creators with her and lies told, and I was just on the peripheral of it and heard about it, but it makes you wonder, yeah, she could have been had her hand in some cookie jars and stuff, and that's why I said earlier, you guys are kind of in this shocked phase right now and pulling
very
up
much.
these memories.
That's
but
not something.
That's
not something I'm interested in looking for, bringing out, putting out. That's for other people. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. I'm sure other people will look into that and see and dig and see what they can find, but I want no part of that.
And I'm not even saying like that you guys would do that. I'm just saying once you start learning more truths, you're going to go into the next phase of, you're going to get, like this whole righteous anger or disappointment or whatever those emotions may be.
I think a lot of people, everybody feels things differently, and some people were like, we're going to do this one and done, and I just somehow knew it wouldn't be a one and done, because a lot of things.
There's just so much, and people have so many questions, and we want to try and be as respectful of her as we can still, but be as honest with everybody else. And it's a tightrope.
Yeah, I wanted to be done with it until I heard your show, and Queen Bee's, and some of the stuff that was being said or like assumed, and Soup had said, hey, I think we're going to have to talk about this again. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Because some people, we had from Monday when we first suspected it until Friday when we went live to kind of get used to it. It still was like a shock. But we also had people coming into the chat, and then people that went into your show or Queen Bees that were hearing about it for the first time. So they're reacting with that first finding out reaction that we had already come to accept. And so there was that, but some of the questions are just like, I still can't, I can't get over people expecting that everyone just like runs background checks on their friends, and I just know you don't. So it was just shocking.
Or they expected that we knew and that we were covering it up.
I would never expect you to run background checks on your friends.
I mean, if you saw people, some of the comments and some of the chats, not necessarily just yours. I ended up leaving yours for a while. I just decided like, this is a lot. I'm gonna go. Queen Bees too. It just like people that just assume like. Stuff that was like absolutely like, I know you don't do that. That's like unrealistic expectations. We're just moms and grandmas and we do other things. This is like, we came to YouTube like Soup will tell you, came here to have a good time.
That's my motto. I just come here to have a good time. And yes, 867. It's not on my other channel, but I have access to this one. Could one of our mods drop our email?
Yeah, it's an easy one though. It's the Jerks 2023 at at proton.me.
Yeah, it's a new email. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. We got to know her over the course of 2 years, and our lives became really, really intertwined. And we don't, like we said, we don't run background checks on our friends. How this all started was these other creators trying to dig into our backgrounds out of spite. And, recently when we saw that she was telling different people different things, we asked for some clarity and she wouldn't answer.
And you have those other creators that do just, shoddy sleuth work, and they don't even know what they're looking for. They find little tiny bits and they connect it poorly. It's horrible. That's why I don't, occasionally I'll cover ZU when it's something that's worth covering, but I rarely even watch her. Right now it's the whole frustrating issues with Fred Hill, and that's why I never watched Purple. I like, even when she was a positive presence on that channel, I never even watched her, because for me, I just kind of stay away from the things that bore me. I don't know how to say it politely, but that's why I didn't dig into them or anything.
And
but
another misconception people have is like we're a true crime channel. We're not.
No,
we are not a true crime channel. We are a talk about all the stuff that we see on YouTube. I mean, if I wander into the knitting community and see some crazy stuff there, I'll probably talk about it. I mean, one day I talked about hearing about the drama in the candle community. So, we all met in the true crime community. So we do kind of like see these things here and there, but we're not a true crime channel. We're just a discussion channel. That's it.
And we're not a bashing channel, Heidi, in the bushes. Ain't nobody bashing.
She's not in the bushes. She doesn't watch us.
Yeah.
Is she still around?
Oh, good God. Yeah. I know she said she was leaving a bunch of times, so she's still there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we're not a bash channel either. It's more like we just come together. Really, it was based off what we saw in our what we saw in the sector. We talked about in the Discord, made a channel, kind of a place for everybody to come talk about it too with us, kind of weigh in. What do you think about Benny Key's mugshot, or, just not going in real life, but the stuff that's out here.
I mean, you'll see us
heavy stuff.
pop up some funny pictures here. It's the same thing we do in the Discord, and people in our Discord can attest to that. That's what we do. Like, we see a picture, we might make it look pretty funny and pop it into Discord, and we all like have a good laugh about it and joke around, and that's all we did was make a show out of that, or a channel, whatever you want to call this thing.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. The whole premise behind your guys' channel is, I think it's smart and funny, and obviously people are attracted to it. So I think you have a good thing going on here, and you're going to build it back up pretty quickly.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I'm sorry.
Well, I definitely
really
appreciate you.
It.
Well, we definitely appreciate you, Deets, and your commentary on it. It was fair. Yeah, and you shouted out our channel. We appreciate it. And look, it's out here. It's going, just like if it happened to somebody else, we'd be talking about it. So it's fair, right? It's out here in the sector. Yeah. People are going to have questions. It's going to be commentary. I definitely expected that. I mean, it's fair.
Yeah, when it's something like that, where it was a pretty decently sized thing happening in these little back alleys. So yeah, people are gonna talk about it, and I hope that most will be fair with you guys, because you guys didn't do anything wrong at all.
Most have been extremely fair with us. I think it's the people that don't know us that a lot of the comments were coming from, that they don't know us, and so they had like unrealistic expectations, maybe because they didn't understand the situation. But here we are. Hopefully we don't have to keep talking about it, because I'd like to get back to doing what we do.
Normal things. Yeah, and I think you'll find you might have a whole new section of people, because I know for myself, I stayed away because of Lady CG, and I think that there were others that did as well. So I think that you'll be, and not because she was a horrible person or anything like that. I don't know if she was or not. Just kind of some of the interactions in chats that some people had is what I've gleaned. So I think that everything will end up just fine in the end. I felt really bad for you guys when I heard your live, that first live you did. I just felt devastated for you guys because it is very traumatic to have someone you trusted end up not being who you thought they were.
Yeah, it's a weird place to be in, and I'll never forget it.
But no, but
Nope,
thank you
not
guys
ever.
for letting me up. And like I said, I couldn't have typed all that out, but no, it wasn't her picture because I do remember. I know what picture you're talking about. That yeah, she said it wasn't her, but
I saw
no.
that, Rosie. We've got 666 subscribers now. One of y'all better subscribe or unsubscribe.
Somebody go get a troll account and subscribe with it, please.
Right. Let me fix this.
All right. Well, you girls have a great day. Thank you for having me up here.
No,
Thank you for coming up.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
But yeah, I think we expected this, and we will move on from it. I don't think we will move on it as fast as we would like, and it's okay. I'm okay with talking about it here and there. We have to understand, like, this is something we would do, you know? So
Yep.
I got to be fair, you know?
You're right. Okay, it's better. It's 6:79 now, so.
Well, thank God. Bless y'all.
Thank you. Oh.
Again, we appreciate y'all for being here and hanging out with us. And hold on a second. Okay, I found our channel with my troll account.
We're moving up in the algorithm. The algorithm gods are blessing us. Agatha Misty in chat says, seems like for the most part she conned people historically. Maybe she didn't expect to meet the jerks and perhaps it was too late once she became attached. Is there any room for her to tell her story? You know, you could be right, because honestly, we have no idea why she did what she did and why she handled it the way she did. There's a lot of room for her to tell her story. And if she'd like to do that, well, she's got a channel with over 3,000 people on it.
What exactly? She's got a very good place to tell her story. And I hope she
I'd
does.
listen.
I'd
listen. I'd like to know. So I would definitely listen to it. Because I'd like to know why. I have already come to the conclusion that I'll never know why, but it sure would be nice to find out why. But, you know, I'm not expecting to ever have that opportunity.
No. Right. It's ironic. Look, she has really shown her character, and she's a real one. I appreciate her. And it's really weird, but I trust her more than I did a lot of people. And I don't feel bad about it now.
Well, I took my time trusting Six Up again, or at all. I didn't know really all about that other stuff that happened with Ziggy. I just knew that she was the bad guy, right? When I was at Ziggy's, Six Up was the bad guy and just doing all these horrible things. So it took me a while after the stuff with Ziggy happened for me to trust her, but she has earned my trust and my respect.
And I hope we have hers because, yeah, she has definitely shown us nothing but grace, respect, and she's actually funny. I like Six Up. I really do.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
The little window ninja. Yeah, I like her a lot. When does JB2, we vote again tomorrow?
Till June 6th, I think. I'm sorry, July 6th. Damn.
We have to wait till July 6th before it starts again?
No, I think it ends July 6th.
Oh,
right?
okay. So tomorrow and then through July 6th, right?
He's in the quarterfinals now.
There's a lot of finals.
They keep tricking us. I keep thinking, like, oh, we're almost there. And he makes it through. And Voting
Okay,
opens
JBT
tomorrow at
says
10
voting.
a.m.
If JBT, if you don't win, I'm gonna be pissed off.
I'm gonna throw some stuff.
Not at you. I won't be
No,
mad at you.
no, just around the house. Might
But
be a stuffed animal or two, but
you deserve it. Dang it, you deserve it.
Yeah, I hope you get it, but we're gonna try. So yeah,
That's
you're right. 6-Up's right. He wins no matter what. That's right.
Yeah, he's an exemplary young man.
Yeah, he really is, and he just really deserves it. Okay, he deserves a lot of good things, and I want to see a lot of good things for him.
I do too.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Y'all know what night it is. It's Sunday, so it's 90.
What's on?
What's on?
90
what are you watching?
90 days before the 90 days. God, they keep doing these spin-offs, and
what is it? 90 days before the 90 days? Is that what you said?
Before they come to America. Oh, and for all my, oh my God, hold on. For all my Sister Wives watchers, it's coming back in fall. Filming has picked up and it's very awkward. Stars, I hope you're in here. Tamara, it's very awkward. Cootie Brown is really upset that Christina's getting married and TLC is filming that too. So Cootie's really so filming is awkward on the set.
It's coming back Sister Wives, but he only has one wife.
He only has one wife. Eyebrows. Sister eyebrows.
This is going to be weird.
Oh, yeah. But I'm out, y'all. Y'all have a beautiful and blessed night, and we'll see y'all soon.
All right.
Good night, Sue.
Good night. And then there were 4.
And then there were 4. What are we at? Almost 2 hours?
Just about.
Not bad.
Does anybody have any questions before we close this out?
Yeah, we're trying our best to do as much as we can to clear everything up for everyone.
Can we make 6-Up a dolphin t-shirt with her riding a dolphin?
We'll probably have one by morning now just because you said it out loud. That's how shit works around here.
That'd be so cool.
Right? Isla Balta, she said we probably have the same questions you guys have. Yeah.
Probably. And will we monetize? We're thinking about it. We don't know for sure, but we're considering it to offset the cost of StreamYard. It's expensive to put a bunch of people like we want to do to have everybody, have some control of the channel. Right now, I mean, everybody does.
We'd like to be able to give back to the channel because there's so many of us, disputing it or distributing it among us would be a disaster. So we'd like to take, money put into the channel, but back into you guys, do some fun stuff.
Yeah, we'd like to use the money to obviously build up the channel with the StreamYard and stuff like that.
And
also
get Eliza an iPad.
To improve the Discord. Those sorts of things, and then also to do some giveaways, things like that. And then also probably, help some people because we really do like to help people. So
this is a completely different venture, and having a little bit of this under our belt for almost a year. We almost made it to a year, ladies. We just have a different perspective on it now. We were close. A month away.
We're gonna get there again.
Yeah.
Even better.
So we are definitely thinking about it, but obviously we're not there yet. We don't even have enough subscribers just yet, and I think we only have 500 or 400 watch hours. So
Can somebody post our merch link so YouTube for Dummies can see that?
Thank you,
the merch link. Yeah, one of the mods will drop it.
Yeah, thank
I
you.
am working. You may see some old stuff in there that I'm working to get the stuff updated. Some of the stuff is updated. Some of it still needs to be updated. It's taking me a minute because I do other things. But
can you be an honorary member?
Who?
Everybody can be.
You guys are all honorary members.
You're all honorary members.
We've always appreciated our subs so much.
Are we going to do membership?
Well, if we monetize, we will.
If we get monetized, we will. Yeah.
Cool.
But I told you guys before, I didn't want to even think about that unless we were going to be able to give the way that Six gives to her members. Yeah.
Yes.
Because she actually, that's the only creator that I've been a part of their membership where she actually does work for the members and stuff. And that's cool. I've appreciated it.
Yep.
Yeah. So, any other questions? That was a good one.
Morton girl asked a question. Is Harley coming back?
No, I don't think so. Any other questions?
Who timed
out JBT? That is the $1 million question, Ray Ray.
I have no clue who did that.
That is the $1 million question. We still don't know the answer to that. It's like, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll Pop? But nobody better do it in here.
Yeah, no one times out JBT.
I think we need a shirt that says "Why the F is Kim in our chat."
I like that. Yes, we need that too.
Michelle asks, "Where is Tits?" Tits is at the park with her kids.
Michelle,
barbecue.
Hi, sweetie. I miss seeing your lovely avatar. I don't know what to call that. Your little M. I just miss you.
Aww. Yeah, well, like in July, right? Because it's not there yet, Morris. I heard in July that they're switching it to 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours.
Sweet.
So that might be the case. I haven't really looked hard into it because we've been really looking at just trying to get up and going, starting over, and trying to clean up some of the things that needed to be cleaned up. We had to move Discords. We had to move to a new channel. We're still unpacking boxes, so.
Definitely have the best hits here.
I did. That T-shirt got updated today, so that's an updated one in the market with the correct channel on it. JBT is almost at 300 subs. We need to get him up to 500 and get him monetized as well. He does really great work over there. If you haven't watched him, sub up. I really enjoyed the live that he did.
I too.
I hope he does more of them.
When he does, we'll be there to support always.
Yeah, he does some commentary, and boy, you can hear his mom in him. Certain things that he says and stuff. You're like, oh, he learned that from his mom, in a good way.
Can we drop Tabby's link? I hear she's going off on a new venture, and wish her well.
Absolutely. Oh, JBT is definitely planning to do a live soon. That's good. It was Wee Scottish Lass, Wee Frosty.
There's a Wee Scottish Mall as well.
That Deets got mixed up. She said it was Wee Scottish Lass. Her apologies.
Oh, so there's two different ones.
Yeah. Trying to see any other questions. Is JBT the skateboarder? Yes. JBT is the one that's trying to skate with Tony Hawk. Wouldn't that be amazing? And imagine the kind of content that's going to make for JBT. I mean, come on. It'd be great content for his channel, right? go live talking all about that experience.
I'm ready whenever you ladies are.
Yeah, I
Well,
am
I'm glad
too.
you're here, Chuck.
Yeah, we can't vote until tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. The voting opens up again for JBT. But please, we don't have a community tab yet. Eventually, YouTube will give us one, I'm sure. But please go vote for JBT tomorrow morning. And if nobody else has any more questions, we will bid you a good night.
Have a good week, everybody.